Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Tuesday the 27th of July 2021 and we're publishing our regular morning update where we look at the latest news headlines, economic reports and precious metal prices. Today we see China and Hong Kong deep in the doo-doo, as we say in the UK, affecting markets worldwide. So let's take a look. Well, a good Tuesday morning to you. It's 9:30 GMT plus 1. We've had some rain. Yes, this spell of sunny weather with temperatures for us going well above 30 degrees centigrade, which is hot in the United Kingdom, has cooled down. So we don't have quite so many fans blowing in the background. Let's look at the news. China crackdown rout spreads to global bond currency markets. What the devil's going on? Well, a rout in Chinese shares in the crosshairs of Beijing's regulatory crackdown extended into global bond and currency markets on Tuesday as speculation swirled the United States may restrict investments in China and Hong Kong. The Hang Seng Tech Index, a gauge of many Hong Kong-listed Chinese stocks, dropped 10%, falling into negative territory exactly 1 year after it was first launched. Treasuries climbed with the greenback and the yen as investors sought havens, while China's bonds retreated. Unverified rumors that US funds were offloading Chinese assets exacerbated the move, according to traders. US stock futures pointed lower. So all is not well with China. What will this do to not only the currency markets, but to global trade as well? If the United States pulls significant funding to these economies, how will that then resonate and how will that be dealt with? We wait and see, but we're noticing that silver prices are going down. Not necessarily saying there is a link between the two, but as we'll see in a second, we're not actually seeing a major increase in the value of the dollar. Let's go back to the news. China's yuan bonds tank in tandem amid fears on foreign sell-off. COVID-weary world is facing a distressing reality check. This was one we thought we'd just briefly mention. ECB is said to have discussed Fed's inflation policy shift. Oh yes. European Central Bank policymakers have acknowledged that their new push to boost inflation expectations could take quite a while to kick in, according to officials familiar with the discussions. In its strategy review this month, when it raised its inflation goal and acknowledged that it might overshoot, the ECB's Governing Council discussed the experience of the US Federal Reserve, the officials said. US expectations a critical signal of future price gains, and remember on Wednesday we have the FOMC meeting and Jerome Powell, the Fed chair's comments to journalists and a statement afterwards. Anyway, a critical signal of future price gains was slow to move last August when the Fed adopted average inflation targeting and said it was willing to overshoot its 2% target. They only started to gather pace months later when the incoming Biden administration started to discuss a fiscal boost to the economy. They accelerated again early this year when the Fed kept policy loose despite price growth jumping well above 2% on soaring demand. While expectations have eased since May, as Fed officials started to broach the topic of tapering stimulus, they remain relatively robust, which is all the more reason we're looking forward to hearing what is being said on Wednesday. UK news, BBC, house prices at new highs as buyers seek more space. Strong demand for houses will last into 2022 as buyers react to the pandemic, says property website Zoopla. The one thing this pandemic has brought home, particularly to people in the United Kingdom, perhaps a little less so in the United States, simply because of the vast terrain and land mass the US has, people want to move out of the inner cities and want to move into houses that have some land, because they found certainly being contained, locked down, without the ability really to go outside and have some fresh air, although it is raining quite often, we have to add. But in spite of that, people are looking for more space. And that is driving house prices up, particularly in what we call the sort of mid-tier, the sort of houses that the second or third movers would normally go to. Whereas originally it would be first-time buyers' house prices rising, or at the very top end because of numerous Russian and Chinese oligarchs moving into London. We're going to see a slight change, we believe, in the take-up of the housing portfolio stock. US combat forces to leave Iraq by the end of the year. What's in store for Capitol Riot Select Committee? Oh my gosh, they now have 2 Republicans on there, both of them Trump haters or dislikers or non-followers, undermining the Republican attempt to not put anyone forward or to put people forward who they hoped would disrupt the proceedings, rightly or wrongly. Now there are 2 Republicans, and it looks like they may have been outsmarted, and the Democrats may gain the upper hand in that select committee. We'll wait and see. Time will tell, will it not? Again, reiterating, China stocks see biggest slump in the United States since 2008. And top Trump aide denies working as a foreign agent. Did you see his bail? I think he had to put up something like $5 or $10 million in cash, but he had to sign over $250 million worth of assets in order to ensure he did not flee. Bezos' $2 billion offer to get back in the race to the moon. Why are these people so desperate to leave the earth? One has to ask oneself. Anyway, let's get back to reality. What's happening in the markets? What's happening to the finances? Dollar index, 92.78, up 0.13. Will we see 93 again? We think you will. But tomorrow will be quite telling. Perhaps tomorrow might push the dollar down a little. Who knows? Energy? Yeah, WTI crude virtually not changed. 12 cents down. And Brent crude 2 cents down. Still trading though in the $70 area. Stocks. Yesterday, again, indices all up. Not huge figures, admittedly, but up nevertheless. We're constantly hitting these all-time highs. In Asia overnight, Nicki and Topex up, but of course, look at the Hang Seng, down 4.22, and the CSI 300 index down 3.53. Not a good picture. And we're affected now. In Europe and the UK, we're down a little over half up to 0.75% in current trading. Economic news today, durable goods orders for June, 2.3 in May, expectations 2. Obviously, if it's lower than that, it'll be disappointing. If it's higher than that, it's suggesting a relatively buoyant trading environment, relatively. Consumer confidence index. We know these have an impact, but we have to admit, we do wonder really how accurate these consumer confidence indices really are, and housing vacancies for Q3. But the important, all eyes will be on tomorrow. Let's be quite candid about that. Then the jobless claims on Thursday, and then the significant data coming out on Friday. So what's happening to gold? Well, in the last 24 hours, this is live 24 hours, so it's now, as we're speaking, 9:39, so it's 24 hours ago, down $13.26 at 17.96. How does this compare to Friday's close? 18.03, so it's not huge, but $7 down. We were hoping that gold would try and maintain its 1800 level. The fact it's dipping is, it's not significant as yet, but it will be after tomorrow. Silver taking a bit more of a hit because gold was down 1%, just over. Silver's down 1.28%, and silver's now trading at $25.10. Any hawkish comment tomorrow by the Fed of any sort will push silver into the $24 category. However, they're quite dovish. It might come back to 25, up to 25.50. How is that looking for the week? So it's 32 cents down on the day. Started at 25.20, so it's only 9 cents down. So again, not too worried yet, but we're watching it. Cryptocurrencies actually started to fall overnight. Bitcoin, of course, virtually touching $40,000, has come back a little, is now 37,290. So it's down 1.7%. The other cryptos, Ethereum's the second largest, is down 4, but it's had a good gain over the last 3 or 4 days. And the market cap, just to give you an idea at the top here, is $1.47 trillion. Basically, our videos going out in the morning, we're getting up to 700-800 views. Thank you for that, everyone. We would like to see that go back to 1,000. We've worked out what's happening. We've noticed that when we look at the YouTube analytics, most of our customers, if you like, or most of our viewers and subscribers are actually online at or around the early afternoon hour time. Very few, obviously the Brits are online, but very few American viewers, who make up about 65% of our viewership, are online when we produce these videos. And what's happening is that we're not getting the momentum viewing, which therefore means as the days go by, YouTube says, well, this channel is not really that popular, and so doesn't promote us as much. So having a morning update seems to have damaged our viewership. But we're sticking with it because we were quite heartened by the comments that we received, and we're hoping that new people coming on board will start to look at this as well. All that we will draw your attention to perhaps is this one, why there'll be no stock market collapse anytime soon. That was published 2 days ago, and we've put a link in the description box below. That's it for now. Try to keep these close to 10 minutes. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign, and we'll see you in our next video. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.